Hello everyone, and welcome to So Many Games, So Little Time, and our weekly update. And as you can see, it is just me, Kine isn't here, and that's how we're going to do it from now on. I mean, I don't know, he'll never be here anymore, but the idea is that I do a weekly update by myself, then next week it's Kine and me again, next week me again. So Kine will be there bi-weekly because he has a much busier lifestyle than I have. And that's more like work related and everything. So you're gonna have to bear with me, but I'll try to keep these as short as possible, or at least as interesting as possible. Obviously, the more special segments that we kind of bounce off of each other, those are not possible right now. But then there's something to look forward to every 2 weeks, right? So absence makes the heart grow fonder. So what am I going to talk about first? I'm going to talk about some of the unboxings and stuff that has arrived in general this week. So first of all, I have Blood Rage here, as you can see, but I don't have any of the expansions. So I finally managed to get my hands on the Mystics of Midgard, the Gods of Asgard, and also the 5th player expansion. You can see they're all still in shrink. I don't think there's big demand for an unboxing, so I'm not sure if I'm going to do that, especially because it's just the expansions, and I don't think I unboxed the main game anyway. If you do want to see it, let me know. I can still arrange it. But playthroughs, I want to do that though eventually, because I want to do. If you watch my movies, my videos, I always say that I want to do a playthrough, but so many games, so little time. Something else that arrived was Mountain Goats. I think I've mentioned it before. Haven't done the unboxing yet, haven't had time, but looks very nifty. Something else was the expansion for Kabuto Sumo with more insects. Also have not gone over that yet. Even though the main unboxing video is ready, I have to put that behind the other one. And we actually made a playthrough of Kabuto Sumo, but then because of camera problems, I had to basically throw it away. Another game that I want to unbox and talk about is Shifting Stones, even though I bought that mostly for my students. I think it looks like a really nice filler as well, but keep your eye out for that unboxing as well. And then something I'm really looking forward to is maybe you've already seen the unboxing. The video was released a couple of days ago. That is In Too Deep. That has finally arrived. It has a solo option, solo mode. So I'm hoping to get that to the table soon as well. But to those people who I've promised that I was going to do certain playthroughs, for example, 2 versus 2 Twisted Fables, difficult to do, but we're working on it. And also Night Parade, I'm hoping to do this week, but once again, no promises, because so many games, so little time. But not only that, dealing with family issues and everything, keeping my daughters entertained. All right, so that's basically it, except for one tiny thing before we move on to the Kickstarters. I recorded 2 more playthroughs, 3 actually. The Euthia, the second one, that will be online very shortly, around the time that this came out normally. I did a Role Player, the 2nd chapter. That's going to be the next one that comes out. And then I did also Fleet, the dice game. That should also come out this week, because there's this guy called Sword and, well, his handle on Instagram is Sword and Board Games. I've been following him for ages. He does focus on solo games, and he has his solo challenge now every week. So he has done Too Many Bones, Too Many Bones 1 week. He has done Spirit Island 1 week, and this week it's Fleet, the dice game. And I've recorded 1 playthrough, which I think was pretty horrible, but I might do another one before Sunday. But so check that out on Instagram if you like solo games, just to discover it, or if you want to join his challenges, feel free. All right, then let's move on to the Kickstarters. So basically, for the recording, I'm joining the herd. I'm doing the same thing as Board Game Co. and Quackalope and other people as well. Partly because it looks good, but mostly because it's a lot less editing. I can now just show you the screen. I don't have to download pictures and then insert them and make them pop out and blah 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 blah. However, if you prefer the previous style, I can always mix and match depending. Okay. So you can see the one that you see first is a Senjutsu. You can also see Alan is a backer, but and you can also see that I am no longer a backer because I have decided to not do it after all. Simply because I'm a graphics whore, is what we call it here. It has to be pretty, and the miniatures are nice, but everything else is just too bland for me. The mats, the cards, and everything. I think the game itself is fine, I guess. But it just, if I look at the playthroughs, if I watch the when I watch the playthroughs online, I don't know, man. I kind of fell asleep. Yeah, it just doesn't catch me. It doesn't grab me. And then I heard about playthroughs where you play for 22 minutes and only have 2 hits in the game. And you can say, okay, but you have to, enjoy the dance, dancing around each other. And sure. But not for me. I don't think so, no. Even though, like I said, it looks really nice. You can see all the miniatures here. And they have a lot of story stuff as well, but then also how much story is really in there. That's also something that I'm kind of worried about. So as far as I know, Kine is going all in, so at least I'll still be able to see what it's like. Worst case scenario, I'll be super jealous, but I'll still get to play it, right? So yeah, because the solo stuff, the solo stories, I can't even find it now here, but yeah, I don't know. It didn't convince me either. Anyway, let's move over to the next one. I'm just going to click this away. And it's Hanamikoji Geisha's Road. I spoke about that before. Kine and I are planning an actual playthrough of Hanamikoji, so you can stay tuned for that. I imagine that might be 1 or 2 games following up. And then what they've added is just really interesting. They just expanded the game even more, made it look prettier. Yeah, and there's a lot of stuff that's unlocked as well, as you can see. So very motivated for that as well. And you can see I did everything Emperor S4, which might be a bit silly because I already have Shadows in Kyoto and Herbalism. But then once again, I have Board Game Club at school, so some of them I can put there. And also the collector's bookcase, I'm really looking forward to that, to be honest. And it just looks really nice, So basically what happens is, if I'm not mistaken, if you play the regular game, the added stuff that you see here, you can actually kind of like guess or put your bets on whoever's going to actually be chosen and gain more points and so on. But yeah, anyway, so that's what I gathered from the video. But even then, I just go in blindly because it's so good. Okay, next one is a Steam Up a Feast of Dim Sum. You can see the moment of speaking is 24 hours to go. I'm still on the fence. Because the pictures here look nice, but then in the video, I thought it looked less nice. So, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm still kind of on the fence, but it would be funny. Like I think I mentioned before, you have an afternoon. First you play chai, then you play Feast on Dim Sum, and then you finish with Sushi Go Party or something like that. It's all very thematic. Would be really funny. But yeah. Anyway, that's this one. Like I said, still on the fence. Everything that's unlocked, not unlocked, doesn't really, make me more or less excited. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, still on the fence. I guess you'll have to find out whether or not what happened to it. All right. Then we have power plants. Watch the video this time, because most of the time I don't watch the video, I have to be honest. But yeah, it just made me more convinced that this is really nice for a family game. It pops, it looks beautiful. You have the whole mechanic of when you put something down, you either do what your tile does or you activate the 2 tiles next to it. Yeah, and then these sprites are already really cute, but apparently one of the where is it here? One of the stretch goals gives them all a specific shape, which is even better, right? But there's 9 options though, so not all of them would be made. But just the fact that you can vote on it and that they'll have different sprites already, yeah, it's really cool to me. And just all the upgrades make it look even better. Once again, I think this is pretty light game, but it can get pretty strategic because all these different tiles have specific abilities, right? One will remove sprites, one will let you to move and spread out your sprites more. Others will give you these gem tokens and so on. So yeah, anyway, so you can see it here. You either sprout or grow, right? Sprout is when you actually do the tile that you place, and grow is when you activate the others around. Yeah. Or the other one, the other way around. Sprout, yeah, sprout is, yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, okay. So you can see it can look really nice. Anyway, enough about power plants because I've spoken about those things before. Then we have a City of the Great Machine, where you either are the machine when you complete your master plan, or you're trying to overthrow the machine and liberate the city. And it's a 1 versus many, and I just like it. It's super beautiful, like probably the most beautiful game I'll be talking about today. The fact that the city can move around, it's modular, you never know what you can expect. You have multiple actions, choices during your turn. There's always a tension of like, I'm going to do this, but am I going to get stopped or not? Will my plans get foiled? And of course, the revolutionaries, they're not called revolutionaries, but anyway, if they can start 3 riots, they win. So I can already imagine the tension if they've managed to do 2, but at the same time, the machine is almost finishing its master plan, that it can get quite tense. So yeah, different people, different heroes, different asymmetric, different abilities. And then you've also got the servants that can stop you or try to stop you. Yeah, just all of it looks really nice. I'm actually quite surprised of the lack of backers, only 1,293, which is not a lot, to be honest. But yeah, it's a difficult month, with Marvel and too many bones and, a lot of stuff. Anyway, talking about Marvel, here we are. I have still just pledged $1. And I think you know why, still because of the shipping, to be honest. I don't know. I'll make up my mind during the pledge manager. Maybe I'm less annoyed then. But yeah, it's been said that we've been told by several people that it's probably just an IP issue, that's why they can't do it. Maybe that's also why they can't talk about it. Who knows? But yeah, anyway, like I said, that's not official, but that's why they don't ship to Hong Kong. But were they shipping to Hong Kong, I think I would back it anyway. Even though, like I said before, the dice drones are actually enough already. Anyway, we'll see. Not a fan of the Loki art, but yeah, this is me. All right, next is Elemental. This is something new. All right, this is basically a 1 versus 1 deck builder, but then you also put your grid battler. Actually, you put the cards on the grid and you try to get to the other side. So kind of like Stratego. So basically, you can see they do different damage on different attack sides, left, top, and right. And not only do you use your cards to attack, but you also use them to get resources and pay for others. So just like Race for the Galaxy, your cards are also your currency. So you can spend cards to get resources and then use those resources to play cards and summon units. And there's spells and units. There's a bunch of them to activate your unit, move in, defeat players. So it's construction, but also a draft. And you can play with up to 6 people at the same time, which is really interesting, even though there's more than 6 here. I thought it was 2 to 6. Am I now misremembering this completely or what? 6 to 10 players, actually. If you have the full set, 6 to 10. So apparently, I was wrong. So yeah, it looks really pretty. It looks cool. Will I eventually keep it? I'm not sure, because I already have so many 1v1 games lately, and I don't know if I necessarily need it, but like some things are definitely not necessary, like the animal pins. Yeah. The mats look nice. They remind me of the magician game. I'm losing the name here, but I'll put it on screen if I remember. Anyway, so yeah, they have a lot of stretch goals, upgrade tokens, and everything, usual stuff. But looks interesting. So if this appeals to you, check it out. Then we have Age of Galaxy, which is a pocket-sized small box galaxy game. They're same people from Age of Civilization, which was a really nice game. Let me just show you. It's Ice Mix. So let me just quickly go there. They also did Ayla. Actually, I forgot about that. Age of Civilization. Here we go. So they did this game as well, which was a really, really, really nice game to play. And I'm kind of sad because my copy is in Belgium. I don't have it here. But check this out as well. It's a really nice, short, small box civilization builder. Very original mechanics as well. And the same seems to go for Age of Galaxy, because basically you don't have one faction, but you draw more than three factions, but three factions are next to your board from the start. The other factions that you have, you use them as backup. You know, they can send you ships and stuff like that. And of course, you're trying to spread out, but it's not only attack; it's also research. It's also technology. You see the cruisers you have here, so it seems like like there's so much in just a small box. Okay, and like I said, so far Ice Mix has not disappointed me yet. Ayla is good so far, and the Age of Civilization was nice. And you can see here 40 faction cards, so many, right? So much still locked, more to be unlocked. So in the beginning you draft, and then yeah, it's really, really nice. Then we have Clash of Decks, which is a bit weird. As to say, I saw the previous Kickstarter, and they had, like, you can see it here. All the cards were basically in a very big page, and you had to cut them out and create your deck that way. So print and play. That's why I didn't back it back then. I was not interested in that. But now they do it in actual decks, right? So basically, once again, a 1v1 battler, but there's also a solo endurance mode, apparently, which is why I'm interested. And have so many different decks. At the moment, 6, I think. And with the starter deck as well. You even get a custom card generator, which allows you to just create your own heroes to put in the game. The game itself has no heroes, okay? But you can use the custom generator to create it and add it. They have the comfort stuff, which is just a couple of mats, and then put some, just to make it more fun to play, but not necessary. But yeah, they have so many different languages as well. So it looks cool. You can even just back it. You can play for free, actually, on Board Game Arena. I think I saw it here somewhere. BGA. Here it is. Board Game Arena. You can try and play it there and see if you like it. Basically, you start on the edge of a bridge, on one side of the bridge, and the other person on the other side, and you're trying to cross. It's as simple as that, right? So that's the idea. In the solo mode, I guess you have to protect your side of the bridge. But the art of the cards look nice. Always interested in stuff like that. Reminds me of Hearthstone from Blizzard. Okay, next one. Possibly Cool Dice Towers 2. Now, basically, you're not buying the dice towers. You're buying the STL files. I think it is. It's called STL files. Yeah, to basically print it yourself. Do I have a printer? No. There are companies in Hong Kong who will print it for you, though. So I'm thinking maybe that's why. Another reason is because I have this one here. The pride and joy of my dice tower collection. It is a portal, as you can see, which I painted, but I bought it from Etsy. Okay, so you too can go and buy it if you want it. And of course it's pricey, right? So I figure if I do this, then at least I'll own it. But and then I can do whatever, because they give you so many of them. For example, this one is already really nice. And I can just imagine playing some fantasy game, and then, okay, this is decorative, so these don't actually do anything, it's just a tower. You have a keychain too, but here are the dice towers, right? So you can actually, like, oh, let's play what's it called again, Champions of Midgard. Okay, then use the Viking one. Okay, yeah, if you're doing a medieval orc thing, use the Ram, or the goblins, or the witch, or the doctor. All those different things. If you're playing something to do with dragons, you can use that one. There's so many options that they offer. Of course, if you print every single one, it's going to cost a ton of money. But you just look at what your favorite games are, and then you just, okay, I'm going to do this one. Like the Temple of Ra, just looks crazy cool. Valhalla, I mean, yeah, they all look awesome. And I think, maybe once a year, maybe twice a year, I might say, okay, I'm going to splurge and then have one made. The Man Eater looks so cool. Another Portal also looks very nice. So yeah, if it's something that you're interested in, dice cases as well, maybe check that out. Then we have Starfighters. I want this. It looks like crazy fun, like crazy stupid fun. Basically, you both have a ship. Okay, you both have a ship. They're asymmetric. They're all different. And then you have like the galaxy where you are, and basically fighting each other. Okay, but the cool part is you're rolling dice, and it's real-time rolling. And the moment someone feels like, okay, I now have enough to do whatever it is that I want to do, they say fire, I think, and then everybody has to stop rolling, and then you do the actions that you've prepared or whatever. So it's always like, how much you're going to push your luck, like how complicated are you going to make your moves. There's solo mode components too, which of course I like. So yeah, it looks like crazy good fun. There's no real picture of it on the, where is it? Do they have a picture where you can actually see it in action? Not really, but there's a lot of videos you can check out. But yeah, for example here, so you're moving around the map here, you're rolling dice, and the moment that you finish, you just say fire, and then you have your drives to move around, lasers to shoot, torpedoes to shoot even more, shields, hull damage, all those kind of things. So yeah, looks really nice. Definitely up for that one. Then Hegemony, which is lead your class to victory. You cannot see the video because I watched it, but it looks like this, right? Let me just reload it to make it easy. So basically you're a class at a society, like the working class, for example, and you're trying to basically dominate by the end of the game, all right? So it has tons of good feedback of many different preview channels, which of course helps. But also, for example, they give a free educational booklet with every pledge. So it's 46 pages of concepts, political stuff and everything, political science. And then just to prepare you for the game. Do you have to read it? No, it just helps you understand it more. I think I would compare it a bit with Twilight Struggle, right? You will learn automatically about what you're doing. With Twilight Struggle, you're learning about the Cold War and everything. So here, if you don't know too much about political science, you'll definitely learn more from playing the game. You don't need to read it because it's like an extra that you get if you pledge now. But yeah, the working class, the capitalist class, the middle class, and the state, 4 players all trying to influence society and trying to get it that way. And many people are just saying, well, this is really, it's quite heavy, seems like. But yeah, it's original, right? It really feels original. So that's why I'm interested. How much table time will this game get if I do get it? I'm not sure about that. But at the moment, it looks really nice. It just makes me feel like I'm playing a Lacerda or something. If you look at it, I mean, it looks as complicated. Even though you have 3 phases, which is a preparation phase. First, you choose the cards that you're going to play. The action phase, you have 6 actions where you can perform. Then you have the production phase where you get all the food and the money and whatever that you've produced with all your workers. And the election phase where you get points. All right. No, fifth one. Fourth one is it's like the agenda phase with Twilight Imperium. You debating about certain laws, and that will change the game as well. And then it's the scoring phase. For example, here, healthcare movement, that would change the game a little bit. And the scoring phase is where you, of course, get points. At the end of the game, after 5 rounds, whoever has the most points wins. Simple as that. So it's not, I mean, prices, I guess, is okay. But it just looks really interesting as well. It's original, so that really appeals to me. I guess I'll watch some more videos because there's still a lot of time for this one. 21 days, but it's already really eclipsed its goal. So Hong Kong dollars, okay? All right. The Realm of Shadows, getting this for sure. It's just a trio of solo games, small box as well. Although I'm not too confident about the Hand of Destiny. They literally say, I'll read it out to you. They literally say, no table needed solo game. It's completed in your hands. The game is completed in your hands, so you don't need a table. That's why they have like this hand here, and you can see the hand here as well. So I don't know exactly how you do it, but anyway, the second one is called The Forgotten Road, and that's a hand management game where you take out as many monsters as you can. Move to new locations, defeat bosses that just get more and more difficult. But you can see the dice as well that I like. It's cool. And then lastly, you have the last Stronghold, which you can hear it already. It's like a siege game where you're trying to fend off monsters who want to take over your city, right? So the art looks cool. 3 solo games in one, always nice. I'm all for it. That looks cool. Next is Heroes of the Shire. Okay. So Heroes of the Shire, I saw some stuff about it on Instagram. Looked very interesting as well, of course. The people compare it with King of Tokyo, Dice Throne, but then with more story and more meat on the bones. It feels a little bit like Dice Throne Adventures as well, I have to say, if I look at it. But the art is pretty nifty. I mean, even the art looks a little bit like it. But of course, the heroes are they're different, but they look the same. They have all these abilities that they can upgrade as you continue in the campaign or the story, I imagine. You fight a lot of trash mob cards and then finally defeat the big bosses, right? But also, for example, just like Dice Throne Adventures, you have loot of different levels, like, rare, legendary, stuff like that. All these different characters that you can play as. See the hero boards, these different abilities you can all upgrade, and you have some buffs that you can have as well. It looks cool. It looks really cool. And I think it'll be similar to Dice Throne Adventures. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I think I'll probably end up getting this one because it looks really nice. And even those enemies are way bigger than the ones that you get in Dice Throne Adventures, because they have literally their own, the massive amount of skills and everything. Yeah, looks cool. Next one, Mageling. If I had just seen it, so this is an old one, okay? This is the original, the base game, okay? This is already over, right? A long time ago. So November 8th, 2021. I last updated, so I don't know when it finished, but a long time ago. Why am I showing you this? Because now we have Mageling Rise of the Ancient Ones, which is the expansion, okay? I don't know if it's standalone, though. Is it standalone? Is it standalone? I think it is. I'm not sure. I'm actually not sure if it's standalone. I'd have to check. But there's a small following or large following, whatever, on Instagram of people who keep playing this, and they say it's really good, really difficult. You die a lot, but there's so many variations because it says here you play like a deck building game. You build a unique grimoire each game to activate with the custom dice. You try to survive through all these locations. It's very difficult to win, but it's very enjoyable. It's very appealing. I wanted to buy it, but the shipping was crazy. But now, because it's a Kickstarter, it gets made in China, so it's cheaper. And it looks even better now with the expansion. I think it is an expansion though. Although it just says a dice placement adventure game for 1 to 4 players, so I think it's standalone actually. Otherwise, they would specify that it's an expansion. But there are pledges where you can get both of them, the base and then the expansion here. So the dice also look really nice. It says 3 quadrillion combinations of all the cards. Okay, so it's crazy stuff. Randomized locations, treasures. If you get this, you can also upgrade the original campaign. Okay, monsters, potions, urns, and so on. Yeah, different characters you play as: Biomancer, Battle Mage, Mystic. So yeah, just check it out if this sounds up your alley. I think it's true. It's 1 to 4 people, right? But many people online, I mean, on Instagram, play solo, right? So it plays perfectly solo as well. Yeah, so amazing base game. You can see it here, all the stuff there. So check it out if it's something you like. And then that's it. That's the last one. I finished. Yeah. So next week we will be including some other stuff, and I also want to mention, of course, our giveaway. If you want to join, make sure you go over to our Instagram page and follow us. Tag 3 people, and then if you want to have some extra entries, then you can also comment on the hip-hop video of Dwellings and say which song you would like to see me make a music video of. You can also comment on the top 5 and suggest what kind of top 5s you want to see in the future. You can suggest on the weekly updates and then say what could be better. For example, someone said better lighting. We got you covered. The problem is sometimes when it's me and Kine, we rent one of those mahjong rooms that are really badly lit. But I've got a lamp that we can use, so maybe that'll improve that aspect at least. All right, so do join, because you get basically quite a lot of money to spend on games, and since we're covering all the shipping, why not? Okay, that's it from me. My name is Joachim. As you know, this was So Many Games for Little Time. I'll see you next time with Kine. Bye-bye.